We know our country is in the grips of an obesity epidemic. 18% of children are diagnosed as being obese. So in response to that, companies are now creating fitness trackers for kids. But is this such a great idea? Let's take a look.
Cycle classes, low carb, juicing, there seems to be a never-ending flow of fitness trends, but there's a new one that has an unusual target: children. The fitness bracelet industry has recently expanded their products to include kids as young as 5, with features like step counting, activity alerts, and family fitness competitions. Some even send badge alerts and make games out of fitness goals. As 57% of kids will become obese by age 35, some say this is a great way to use technology to get kids moving. But some claim these activity trackers could lead to orthorexia, which is a type of anorexia that masks itself as a health and fitness obsession, and a fixation on points, numbers, and stats can lead to physical and mental health disorders. So is this new trend setting kids up for fitness or failure?
So what do you guys think?
You know, listen, I want my 5-year-old thinking about having fun, not tracking their fitness, right? And so if you want your kids to be more active, you need to be a more active part of your kid's life and insert yourself into that.
No, I agree. But I do think there's a counterpoint to that, which is I have a 10-year-old, I have an 8-year-old. We're constantly battling the screens in our house. And while the CDC recommends they're active for 60 minutes a day, that they sleep for 9 hours a night, as a parent, there's a constant struggle because they want to sit there and be glued to that screen. So my son, who's 8, actually has one of these. And I think and I think the nice thing about it is it doesn't have a calorie tracker. It doesn't have anything about their percentage of body fat, but he loves kind of tracking how active he's been during the day. And then the best part is I get home from work at night and he's always like, "Mommy, how many steps did you do?" And then we do this little comparison.
He's gonna put a tracker on you.
No, he has put a tracker on me. I have one too. And it's actually a really fun way to remind him to get up and run around. After baseball yesterday, he showed me he had done 14,000 steps.
Wow.
And so I think this is actually done in the right way. I'm very sensitive to the issue of orthorexia. In fact, my sister-in-law very sadly passed away from anorexia when she was 41 years old. So I am very understanding and sympathetic about the fact of making them too aware of something like their calories and their eating habits. But on the flip side, I think that we're battling an obesity epidemic in this country, and anything that reminds them to get up, be active, enjoy that, it's well worth it.
We have to do something because what we are doing is not working.
Right, so what we do know for sure is something has to change. And I think when kids are young, you know, they want to touch fire, but we don't let them because it's hot and it's dangerous. And it's the same thing. They're going to want to eat sweet things or fried foods, and they're going to want to watch TV for 10 hours a day, but we know that it's dangerous. And when we look at the fact that more kids are getting things like diabetes, there's a difference between getting diabetes at 50 and getting diabetes at 15. You never want it, but when you think about the potential long-term consequences, like your risk of blindness is going to be a lot higher, or amputation compared to somebody that just has it once they're 50 and then until death compared to 15. And so I think we have to look at it from that perspective. And I think it is a bit of a slippery slope, but I like all of the points that you brought out. So it's not going to be for every kid. Maybe you try it out with your kid, and if you see that they're developing unhealthy habits, you decide to take it away, and then you kind of become their Fitbit. But somebody needs to be monitoring what they are doing to keep them healthy.
Zach, I mean, Dr. Major, is this sort of teaching them obsessive behavior a little too early?
It comes right up to the line, Doctor, because kids like games, and they're going to find a way to make a game out of everything. And so if the game becomes, let's see who can get the most steps today, now we're having a problem. And what I don't like is the slippery slope, like you mentioned. Now we just give kids one more way to wake up and see how maybe they're not good enough. You got to keep it positive. You got to keep it healthy.
And avoid the judgment, because I think that's where a lot of mental health disorders come into it, when you introduce that component of judgment and anxiety, and it's not just a fun reminder and a healthy.
But I think for somebody like your son, it's working. That he's
so much fun,
I had the best app possible. We called it a Mom Can We app. I would go for lunch and I would say, "Mom, can we have cupcakes for lunch?" And she was like, "No, but you can go outside and ride your bike for the next 3 hours." And she tracked our fitness. And so, you know, never forget, don't abdicate that responsibility to an app. Make sure you're doing it as a parent.